Hey everybody, this is Tesla for Drop Top Tees, and this will be video number 3 in the Madness Autoworks GOPedal Plus series. Today we are going to look at the remote handheld controller and how to use all the functions of the GOPedal Plus through the remote control. So I'm going to move it back inside the garage, so hopefully you'll be able to see the lights on this as they light up different colors, because that will help you determine what mode you're in. And as soon as I get her inside, I'll show you how everything works. Okay, so to use the GOPedal Plus remote controller, you just press any buttons, protect, valet, or mode, it doesn't matter. You'll see it cycle through the blue lights. Once they turn solid, that means it's in communication. I'm just going to press these buttons a couple times to keep it active, because if it goes more than 8 seconds without input, the lights turn off. The blue light means it's communicating. If it failed to establish a link, that would be red. The green light is your battery strength indicator. At green, it's fine. If the battery starts to get weak, it'll turn amber. And once the battery gets very low and is about to die, it will turn red. So, to set the GOPedal to the various modes, you're going to use these 5 buttons up here. They're purple is race mode, red is sport mode, green is eco mode, blue is traffic mode, all the way to the left, and white is off. It's not changing your throttle map at all. So let's say we want to go into eco mode. We go to green and then we press our mode button to lock that in. You see our selections are now all green. We can scroll up and down with the valet and the protect button to change our fine tuning. The lowest setting is all the way to the left. The strongest setting is all the way to the right. Now in traffic and eco mode, the strongest setting means the most detuning and the smoother your response will be. In sport and race mode, the higher setting means the most aggressive it will be and the faster you'll accelerate, and the lowest setting is the least amount of fine-tuning, to where it'll be less aggressive. It'll still be stronger than stock, but nowhere near as aggressive as putting it all the way over to the right. So you can play with those settings. I've already tried traffic on the interstate and stop and go traffic, and I love the way it feels. I've tried eco mode several times on the way to the store, and as long as I drive the same as normal, I actually do see a small increase in my gas mileage. However, normally I leave it set at max, and I don't run my GOPedal Plus all the time. I just put it on when I want it. The other thing I'll say is, look at this. If I keep pressing either the left or the right button, it just scrolls around in a circle. It wraps around. Okay, so if I always press the protect button, it'll scroll back through. It's not like it gets to one side and stops, and that's a little important here in the future when we talk about something else. Those are your basic mode selection and fine-tuning adjustments, but the cool thing about the GOPedal Plus is that it has a couple other cool features that the GOPedal doesn't have, and that's protect and valet. So I'm going to put it in protect mode and show you exactly what it does. In order to enter protect mode, I just press and hold the protect button for 3 seconds until that light turns blue. Now when I let go of the button, it turns red. It is ready. There's only a couple steps left. I have to turn off the car. I have to take my remote, because again, this is going to be if you want to leave the car somewhere that you're worried about maybe somebody stealing it. You're going shopping, you're going to be away from it for a long time, you're going to the airport and leaving for a couple days, and you're leaving it in the parking garage, you'd put it in protect mode. So I am going to run inside. I have to get the remote in order to show you how it works. I have to get the remote over 20 to 25 feet away from the car, so that it's no longer within range of the signal. And then I will come back, turn on the car, and show you exactly the result of going into protect mode. I'll be right back. So somebody breaks in your car, they get it started, they put it in gear and try to drive away, and nothing. Let me move the camera so you can see this. You can see the accelerator. I'm going to depress it all the way with my hand. There is absolutely no throttle response. So even if somebody could get the car started, they would not be able to drive it anywhere. They would have to tow it somewhere. And that is the beauty of Protect Mode. You get back from your shopping trip or your vacation or whatever, get back in your car, put your controller remote back in, start your car. To take it out of Protect Mode, press and hold for 3 seconds again. You'll see the light turn blue and now it's gone. Now you have your accelerator back. It's that simple. Great little feature. Similar to that, operates just a little bit different, is Valet Mode. To go into Valet Mode, if you're going to hand the car off for somebody to park it, or maybe to a mechanic where he's not working on anything on the engine, you don't want him to take it out for a joyride, press and hold the Valet button for 3 seconds. Light turns blue, let go, and now everything turns orange. You can use Valet and Protect to adjust the fine-tuning on Valet Mode. All the way to the left is the most amount of accelerator limitation you can give the Valet. All the way to the right is the most amount of throttle you give to the Valet. Personally, if I'm going to do it, I'm keeping it all the way to the left, and he's not going to get to go fast. And what this does is limit how much accelerator he gets to play with. When I'm in the low mode, when I've experimented with it, I'm getting right around just a little bit over 2,000 RPMs, and that's the highest he can go with it. So somebody you give the car to park or to work on doesn't have a chance to go out, get aggressive, potentially harm your car. To get out of Valet Mode, same as with Protect, you just press and hold Valet again for 3 seconds till the light turns blue, come out, and look, I'm back on my normal default setting. It will return to whichever setting I had programmed in before I put it in Protect or Valet Mode. Now, a couple things to just be aware of. When I put it in Valet Mode, that overrides any of the modes and fine-tuning I had in effect. If I put it in Protect Mode, that overrides everything else, including Valet Mode. So Protect Mode has top priority, Valet Mode has second priority, and your normal mode adjustment with fine-tuning has the lowest priority. Okay, that covers all the normal functions that you would use through the remote. However, there are some additional functions in something they call the user menu. To get to the user menu, you want to press and hold Protect and Valet at the same time till the lights turn blue. Release it and they turn red. The leftmost menu, if you want to select it, you press Mode. You see your lights come on. This is going to affect your warm-up timer. Normally, the default position is off, but I can add in increments of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. With me pressing the select, I just programmed my GOPedal Plus to wait 8 minutes after I start the car for the GOPedal Plus to activate. The lights will come on, but it won't actually affect the throttle input until 8 minutes after I start the car. Why would I want to change a warm-up timer? Well, as we all know, when we start these vehicles cold, our cold engine light is on, that little blue light on your dash, indicating that the car isn't sufficiently warmed up for you to really get on the accelerator. And so if you leave your GOPedal always set to to either sport or race mode, you don't want to accidentally rev your engine too high while the car is still cold. So you can set your warm-up timer anywhere between 0 time to up to 8 minutes in 1 minute increments to try to match the Go pedal turning on to when your car will reach sufficient temperature to where tromping the throttle will not hurt the engine. And now I'll go in and change it back just so you can see how I did it again. Hold down both buttons, select that mode, and now I'm decreasing by pressing the protect. I'm decreasing it 1 minute per interval down to the default of off, because I don't leave my Go pedal on. I normally leave it in the off position. I only turn it on when I want it, so I don't have to worry about it interfering when I start up the car. Now, the next selection over in the user menu you may find of interest as well. That's over in the first light, the traffic light. You select that, and now you're in what they call the flavor menu. On the off button, that's normal. The throttle response controller is acting as normal. Second position is a flavor they call power. The third position is precise, and the fourth position is a undocumented test position that they are experimenting with for EVs. When they produce these for EVs, it's actually in eco mode. So I'm going to put it over to power, and I'll select that, and then I'll talk about what they each do. Power, in power flavor, it adds a little bit more aggression to your settings. So this would be something to consider if you're normally in sport mode or race mode. By going into power flavor, you're making them slightly more aggressive. If you're mostly in eco or throttle mode, that kind of, or traffic mode, that kind of works against those settings. And the third selection is precise mode. That just makes your throttle response a little bit more precise. I'm not certain why you'd want to use it, but play with it, see if you like it. And that fourth undocumented selection on the sport button, where we go all the way over here, the one they're just experimenting with, they said that is an eco mode, so I would assume that would detune your traffic in eco a little bit more than what the default positions are. But again, they said it's experimental, and they said you can play with it if you want, but it's just something that's there that's not really, it was just kind of there because they're messing with it. So the other thing to note on this is, unlike your normal mode that you have selected when you activate the GOPedal Plus again, it goes to whatever the last position was you selected. You'll notice that when I go into this user menu and select the flavor, it does not show me the last thing I selected. Right now, I have this selected for power. I go back in, and it looks like it's still in off, like in normal position. Power flavor is still selected. It doesn't retain the last position you were in, so just be aware of that. If you go back in and try to change flavors, you're like, wait a second, I had it in power. Yes, it retains the last one you had selected, it just doesn't show it on the indicator lights. There's a couple more choices in this user menu. You can go all the way over to the sport button, and if you activate that, that activates the relearn mode, and I'm not going to do it right now, but this is what it does. Say you wreck your car, sad, but we're just being hypothetical here, and you're going to buy another 124 Spider, so you take your GOPedal Plus off the car that's wrecked and you transfer it to the new Spider that you buy, but you already initialized it to your first 124. You need to get it to relearn the new 124's throttle. So you would go and put it in the relearn mode, which you go over to the sport button, click it, and then you can initialize the GOPedal Plus to that car. I can see that also being useful if you decide to sell the GOPedal Plus to another user. That allows he or she to initialize the GOPedal Plus to their car, and then once you leave your car in on position without turning on the motor, You depress the accelerator for 2 seconds like we did in the first video, and then you would go in, go all the way over to the race mode, press that, and that deactivates learn mode. Okay, you probably will never use it, but I just wanted to explain it since it's in the documentation. The final menu choice that you might use, and some of you may find this useful, is when you press this and turn it on, by default it remains on. The lights stay lit up for 8 seconds after the last input. 8 seconds after the last time you press a button, it will turn off. The lights turn off. And so you can adjust how long the lights stay on after an input between 4 and 12 seconds. Some of you may want the lights to stay on longer. Some of you want to conserve the battery power in the remote, and you don't care if they turn off almost right away. So in order to adjust that setting, we go back into user mode, and then just scroll your lights over with the valet button until they turn blue. And now you press select, and you'll see them all light up. Right now it's set for 12 seconds for the video. I can use my power button and I go down by 1 second. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. And then you would press mode, and now after 4 seconds it should turn off. It'll turn off. There you go. It turned off rather quickly. So I'm going to put it back to the default mode. Cycle over to blue, press enter, and now I'm going to run it up to where just the E button is lit up. And now it's back to the default 8 seconds. 8 seconds after my last button press, the light should go out. If you want the lights to stay on longer, be aware that if they're staying on longer, they're using a little bit more energy. It will decrease the life of your battery a little bit. And again, in video 5, I will show you how to change the battery on one of these. Very simple. Hint, keep that T8 wrench that came in your package with the zip ties and the other fasteners. You need that T8 Torx wrench to change your battery on the remote. That's why they gave it to you. There are 2 additional settings in your user menu. However, you should never use them unless you're in direct contact with technical support. And they're over in the blue side of the menus. On S, that is remote bindings. R is an LED test. Do not use those. Again, you only ever want to use them if you are talking to technical support for something and they tell you to go into those modes. So there's a complete look at the GOPedal Plus remote control and how to adjust all the various different settings it gives you. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe and press the bell so you get notifications of future videos. For Drop Top Tees, this is Tezlon. I'll see you again soon.